Okay, tonight's assignment is on percent proportion. Percent proportion is used to find the missing number Be sure you're filling these blanks in with me. We're going to take them up tomorrow to make sure you watched. I hope yours looks better than mine. Percent proportion is used to find the missing number in a percent word problem. What does percent mean? You learned that from one of Miss Hitchcock's lessons. So percent means hundredths. Spell hundred and put a TH on the end. THS, actually. Remember, percent is always, write that in capitals, and even underline it again, out of 100. The percent proportion looks like this. In the first ratio, you've got the part over the total, and the second one is always percent over, what does percent mean? Out of 100, or hundredths. So when you're reading a word problem, you're going to look for the part, you're going to look for the total, and then look to see if there's a percent given. Example 1. There's 6 ounces of sugar in a 25-ounce box of Honey Hunks cereal. What percent of the cereal is sugar? The first thing to look for is the percent, because that's easy to see because it has a percent sign after it. So what is missing here? The percent is what's missing because it doesn't give us a number with a percent sign. So is 6 the part or the total? Well, that's just the part. The whole thing is 25 ounces. 6 ounces is the part. So that means that the 25 is the total. So here's how we're going to write this. We've got 6 as the part over 25 as the total equals, and since we don't know what the percent is, we're going to put that as X over 100. And then we would solve it like we do when we find a common denominator. 6 times 4 is 25 times 4 is 100. So 6 times 4 is 24. That would mean that X equals 24. Example 2. Joey hit 20% of his at-bats at the game Saturday. If he had 10 at-bats, how many hits did he get? Now remember, I said the percent is the easiest thing to find, so you always want to look for that first. And since there is a number with a percent after it, well, yes, the percent is given. It's 20%. Is 10 the part of the total? If he had 10 at-bats, how many hits did he get? Well, 10 is the total because that tells how many times he was at-bat. So that means that the part is missing. Where did it go? I promise I'm going to get better at this as I go along. So when we fill in our proportion, and remember a proportion is just 2 equal fractions. It's going to be X, because we don't know what the part is, so that's the X, over the total is 10, equals 20% with 20 over 100. Now this one's a little bit different because our number's missing over here. We could think 10 times 10 is 100, so what number times 10 would be 20? Say the answer out loud. I hope you said 2 because X equals 2 because 2 times 10 equals 100. Example 3, Susie Q needs to read for history tonight. In class, she read 10 pages, which is 40% of what she needs to read. How many pages is the assignment? Okay, is the percent given? Yes, it is. What is the percent? 40. And we find that because we look for that percent sign. That's always the easiest one to figure out first. So is 10 the part or the total? Well, did she read her whole assignment? No, she just read part of it. So that would be the part. Oops, off the line, sorry. You can do better than that. So the total is missing. So we're going to go fill in. We know that the 10 is the part. Actually, it looks kind of like Bart, but we're going to fix that. 10 is the part. And so the total is missing, so that's an X. And we know the percent is 40, and we know that percent means hundredths. Okay, to solve it, 10 times what equals 40? Did everybody say the answer? 10 times 4 equals 40. So what number times 4 equals 100? Think about how many, if you had $1 and you had 4 coins in your hand, what would those be? They would be quarters. So X equals 25 because 25 times 4 is 100. So that's how you do the percent proportion. That's how you solve the percent proportion. And we'll be doing some lessons on that tomorrow. If you have any questions, fill in your Google Doc with the questions that you have, and have a great night.